Equatorial Guinea is a very interesting country. When the story of Baltasar, the man who slept with over 400 women and videotaped it, first broke the internet, a lot of people were wondering, which country is Equatorial Guinea? We've never heard of it before. How comes we're hearing about it just now? And for something like this, well, that country was actually quite known, especially by Nigerians anyway. I'm speaking for Nigerians here. So a lot of Nigerians have always known the country. One of the reasons a lot of people might not really know Equatorial Guinea is because, well, first of all, it's a West African country and they have a very small population. They are 1.7 million in population. So yeah, so if you are wondering, you've never seen an Equatorial Guinea person, or maybe you've never really heard much about it, this is probably why, because they're low population and the fact that I heard that immigrating there is quite difficult. So if you are going there, you want to get a citizenship there, you want to reside there, a launch is quite difficult. A lot of Nigerians have always grown up hearing stories about Equatorial Guinea. But the problem is we don't hear the stories with the name Equatorial Guinea. We hear about it with the nickname. Apparently, the nickname here in Nigeria is Panya. So this Panya word was gotten from the word Espanol, and according to the stories or the theories in place, they said that a lot of Nigerians, especially the Igbo people of Nigeria, were traveling to Equatorial Guinea in the past, in the 90s, and you know, in Equatorial Guinea, the main language they spoke there was Espanol. And the way they pronounced the Espanol was normally Espanol, or I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, you know, it's not my language. So our Nigerian brothers did not have time to come and be pronouncing that name. They didn't want to stress themselves. They just coined the word Panya from the word Espanol, and that was it. Everybody in Nigeria now calls it Panya. In fact, we didn't even know the original name of this country that they're calling Panya. Now here's where everything gets interesting. You really want to know what they say about Panya? Okay, the stories that we are being told about it is stories of Nigerian men who go over there and in fact they come back empty-handed. So according to these stories, that place knows how to make a man useless. Like if your brother goes to Panya and as maybe abroad, you know, a lot of people go abroad maybe to seek greener pastures or to start up a business or just to look around. Now, if your brother goes to Panya because maybe he's looking for greener pastures, unfortunately, once you people contribute money and send him abroad, it is still the same you people back home that will be sending him money to survive in Panya. Now, and if you guys get fed up of the fact that you are the ones feeding him even though you are back in Nigeria, and you guys say, okay, it's time to send money to him to come back. Because usually these people don't used to even have money to come back on their own. Their family members have to rally around to get some money to bring them back before they finally get useless. Now, once they gather the money and they send it over to their brother and their brother comes back, he's coming back empty-handed, my dear. He's coming back with just, I heard there's this cocoyam. Is it 3-leaved cocoyam or something that they usually come back with? Or maybe a bottle of wine. Just nothing. And when he comes back, he will start speaking like a Spanish person. And he will start talking about life in Panya. And basically, they will portray this image of fun. So apparently, it is believed that in Equatorial Guinea, they know how to have fun. And you can easily get carried away. And this story of Baltasar, a lot of people are saying it is not today it started and it is more like a cultural thing. I don't know how true it is, you know, rumors, sometimes it might not be totally true. But then a lot of people are saying it's cultural and they see nothing wrong in it. In fact, this has also made a lot of people to start wondering, yes, we have been condemning Baltasar and the women involved in all these things. In fact, his own wife too, her own tape is actually on the internet. So she too was doing the same thing that her husband was doing. And you hardly see an Equatorial Guinea person condemning the act, and people are now saying, oh, probably, truly, this might be a cultural thing, like, yeah, it's now making sense. And then people are like, oh wow, that means to them, things like this are literally nothing because it's something that is quite normal, it's seen as quite normal. Now, this is all rumors and, you know, somehow stereotypical, and, you know, I don't really like stereotypes, but I'm just sharing what people say back here in Nigeria. So people actually believe that if you go to that country and you are not the type that is strong-willed, you will get carried away. By the time you do life of the party, clubbing, you slip around and all these things, you as a man might find yourself not even getting married in the first place. And every single kobo you have, you will use it to be pursuing a woman. And all these ideologies are even being strengthened by the fact that our brothers who went over there in the 90s came back and they started acting almost uselessly. Although they definitely talk about the country with so much enthusiasm, like the country is such a fun place, and sometimes they feel stuck here in Nigeria, like, oh, Nigeria is not fun enough. They really love that place, it was quite fun, and they start talking about the escapades back there. But unfortunately, here in Nigeria, Nigerians view a lot of these men that went there and came back as useless men. In fact, if you go to rural villages, if you go to committee meetings, village meetings, they are not among the people they like to give chieftaincy title or the people they like to take advice from. They don't really love to hear their opinion because they don't think their opinion counts, based on the fact that they feel the only thing these people know how to do is have fun and waste away their life. And funny enough, only few of these men who came back from there actually turn out to be useful later on. I think maybe that one, their family members had to do a lot of fasting and praying on their heads. My son, our brother must never be useless. God forbid. And maybe that is why those ones finally, but unfortunately, a lot of them they're still on the high horse of, oh, we're coming from Spanish Guinea. You know, Spanish Guinea was the former name of Equatorial Guinea. So they are still on that high horse and stuff, and they just don't want to move that forward. I don't know why. It's like there's so much fun going on in that country. So people are saying, if you want to useless your life, like you want to live a life where you don't want to think about the future, you don't care what the future holds, you just want to live in the present and have fun and do a lot of escapades, sleeping around, drink and get high, then probably Panya is the place for you to be. Yeah. And besides that, although immigrating there is quite difficult, I learned there are Nigerians, specifically from the Igbo tribe, that actually ended up becoming part of the people, part of the indigenous, or should I say citizens of Equatorial Guinea. So the Igbo tribe, I learned, is one of the tribes in Equatorial Guinea. So what do you guys think about this fun facts that I just said in this video? Would you love to visit Equatorial Guinea? Do you like the idea of having fun, slipping around and seeing sex as nothing? I know this is a dream of a lot of men, and I can see why they are making their immigration so hard, because if you give a lot of men the opportunity to go to this country, many of them will not come back. And it's such a small country. They do not want to be overcrowded with foreigners. So I get their logic. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Bye. And if you've been to Equatorial Guinea, please tell us what you experienced there. And if I'm wrong, if our speculations about the place is right or wrong, let us know. Okay?